My boyfriend admitted, "My ex contacted me again, I might restart things with her." I said, "Follow your heart." Then I called his best friend who'd secretly adored me for years. My boyfriend's expression when he found us at his favorite eating spot was, I never imagined my relationship would end with a single sentence, yet when Edward looked at me that Sunday morning, holding his phone like it was some holy scripture, and quietly said, "My ex wrote again, I might restart a relationship with her," something inside me cracked, the kind of crack that doesn't shatter immediately, but slowly splits your whole chest open until breathing feels like a chore. And all I did was nod and whisper the most painful lie I had ever told, "Follow your heart." The moment those words left my mouth, his whole face relaxed, almost relieved, and that relief hurt more than his confession, because it told me everything I needed to know about where I stood. So while he walked to the bathroom humming like he wasn't breaking someone, I stared at his phone on the counter, the same phone he used to text me goodnight, and the same phone he used to text her "I miss you." And something in me decided that heartbreak without revenge is just sadness, and I refused to be sad for a man who didn't even pretend to fight for me. I didn't call a stranger, I didn't download an app, no, I called Logan, Edward's best friend, the same man who had adored me quietly for years, the same man who told me once at a bonfire, if he ever loses you, he'll regret it for life. And when I called and said, "Are you free?" he didn't even ask why, he just said, "Tell me where to meet you." And that alone made me feel something Edward never made me feel, chosen. We didn't plan anything, we didn't scheme, all we did was meet at the small diner near the river, the one Edward loved, the one he dragged me to every Friday, the one he claimed felt like home. And maybe that's why fate guided my steps there, because if he was going to pick his ex over me, I wanted the universe to witness my reminder that I wasn't the backup plan he thought I was. Logan sat across from me, looking nervous, like he wasn't sure if comforting me would cross a line, but the moment I told him what happened, his entire face changed, a mix of protectiveness, anger, and something softer, something deeper, and he placed his hand on mine, not in a lustful way, but in a way that said, "You deserved better the entire time," and somehow that tiny touch was enough to break the dam inside me. What happened next wasn't planned, it wasn't seductive, it wasn't revenge sex or anything messy, we simply leaned toward each other, forehead to forehead, tears in my eyes, frustration in his, and in that moment, he kissed me, not a fiery kiss, but a gentle, careful, reverent kiss, the kind that says, "You matter," and just as my hands moved to his shoulders, the bell above the diner door rang. Edward walked in. His expression didn't shift slowly, it snapped, like someone punched the breath out of him, his eyes widening, his jaw clenching, his entire body freezing in place, because he didn't just see me with someone else, he saw me with the one person he never thought I would choose, the one person he always trusted more than himself, and for the first time since I met him, Edward looked afraid. He stormed to our table demanding explanations, voice shaking with a rage he never used to defend our relationship, and I sat there calm, too calm, the kind of calm that only comes after the heart has died and been reborn, and I said, "I told you to follow your heart, so I followed mine." And Logan didn't back down, he didn't look guilty, he looked ready to fight for me, the exact opposite of the man who said he might run back to his ex. Edward blamed me, then blamed him, then blamed the timing, and when he realized neither of us would crumble, he walked out of the diner without ordering anything, without looking back, without pride, and something about that felt like justice. Because heartbreak shouldn't always end with tears, sometimes it should end with the person who hurt you finally seeing they never had as much power as they thought. For weeks Edward tried to come back, tried to apologize, tried to paint himself as a victim, but once trust breaks, it doesn't repair, it rots. And by the time he realized Logan had stepped into the spaces he abandoned, it was too late, because I finally understood something he never taught me. Love shouldn't make you feel replaceable. Logan and I didn't jump into a relationship immediately, but he showed up, consistently, gently, honestly, and when he touched my hand again months later, it didn't feel like revenge anymore, it felt like healing. But the craziest twist didn't come until much later. When I found out the ex-Edward left me for never wanted him back, she was only catching up with him because she was getting married and wanted closure. And he had thrown away everything for someone who wasn't even holding a door open for him. The universe doesn't always give you the revenge you plan, sometimes it gives you the revenge you deserve. And in the end, Edward wasn't destroyed by me, he was destroyed by his own choices. And as for me, I didn't win by getting even, I won by walking into a future where I was finally valued. And yes, Edward still avoids that diner till today, because every time he remembers what he walked in on, it reminds him of the moment he realized he lost me twice, first by choosing his ex, and second by realizing I would never choose him again. Weeks after that diner incident, I thought I had finally moved on, Logan and I slowly building something real, when Edward showed up at my doorstep. He didn't knock politely or ring the bell. He barged in, eyes wild, voice shaking, holding a bouquet of roses that looked like they had been smashed in the car. "I can't lose you," he said. "I was wrong, I know it, and I'll do anything to make you come back." I let him speak for a few moments, letting the absurdity of it wash over me, before I finally said, "Anything," and that's when his face changed from desperate to reckless. He pulled out a small box, opened it, and there it was, a ring, a huge, gaudy, over-the-top thing, one he obviously didn't even know if I'd like. "Marry me. Tonight. Just say yes." I stared at him in disbelief, my chest tightening, the air around us electric with tension. "You want me to marry you after everything?" I asked, voice calm but cutting. He nodded, eyes pleading. Then I realized the shocking part wasn't the proposal. It was that he had gone behind my back and told my parents, my friends, even Logan about it, trying to manipulate everyone into pressuring me to say yes. That was the final straw. I picked up my phone, called Logan, and calmly said, "Come over. Now." When Logan arrived, Edward froze, realizing his carefully staged plan was collapsing. Logan stood beside me, hand in hand, and I told Edward, "You can try to force me to go back, but I choose someone who respects me." Edward's jaw dropped, his face pale, as he finally saw that no grand gesture could undo the betrayal. That night, Edward left, empty-handed and humiliated, while Logan and I laughed quietly, finally free from the past, knowing the person who tried to shock you into love only reveals their weakness, and that true love can never be forced. If someone tells you to follow your heart, make sure it's not a trap. Sometimes walking away leads to the love and respect you truly deserve. Please like, share and subscribe for more stories. Thank you.